Hello all, Jamie Rodgers here from Craftmania, and today I'm bringing you our brand new die of the week. Now, as you may know, we bring you a video every week to introduce you to the latest special offer die of the week. And the last couple of weeks, this video has been missing because by the time we get to filming them, they're all sold out, and we don't want to tease you with something that's already sold out. So if you like the look of this week's, we would highly recommend you don't dilly-dally, because we do have a higher stockpile of it. But to be honest with you, that is diminishing rather fast, so don't miss out. Now, if you're new to us here at Craftmania and you've not seen our videos before, first of all, welcome, hope you enjoy the video. Second of all, do you know about our P&P? Here in the UK, if you spend over £5, your P&P is completely free. And that isn't only for this die of the week or our products we're bringing you in today's video. This is for all 10,000 products we stock here at Craftmania. So if you would like to get hold of them to the UK, free delivery, just spend over £5 and you won't pay a penny in postage. Now, if you'd like to shop with us from around the world, you of course are more than welcome to. Little tip for you: if you're shopping on the website and you wish to convert it to your currency, pop to the top of the page and you will find a little Union Jack flag. If you give that a click, it will give you lots of different currencies that you can convert it to, so you can see what you'll be paying in your currency. So, of course, shipping for our international customers, that is capped at just £10. So if it costs more than £10, we here at Craftmania will actually pay that for you. If it costs less than £10, which I'm going to be honest with you, it never does, because of P&P costs a fortune nowadays. But if it does, if you just order one die, for instance, and we can find that cheaper than £10, then we will, of course, refund you the difference. So it is the most you will pay is £10. So without further ado, let's introduce you to this week's die of the week, shall we? Now, this week we have an amazing die brought to us by Sue Wilson. We are looking at Jillian. Jillian is one of Sue's frames and tags collection, and we know these, we love these, don't we? We've seen several of these of die of the weeks already. Frames and tags really is code for loads of options, millions of ways to use them, and incredible intricate designs, and this one is no different. We have 4 dies in this set, giving us the option to cut in, cut out, create frames, create backgrounds, create loads and loads of different effects with them. I'll show you the dies and I'll show you samples shortly, but let's talk price. This one should be £10.99. Now, to be honest with you, that was a fantastic price at £10.99 for 4 dies with all that interchangeability, and actually size-wise, these are quite nice proportions to be working with. So again, £10.99, fair price. But here, die of the week, even better than that. This die is only £4.99, literally £4.99. So you are saving more than you are spending, because it should be £10.99, only £4.99 at the moment. So don't miss out. Get this one ordered as soon as you possibly can. As I say, we don't have a never-ending supply of these, so don't dilly-dally if you like the look of it. Now, of course, being £4.99, all you need to do then is spend over a penny and you're going to get free UK P&P, or of course that capped international shipping of £10. Now, to give you a few ideas of what you might like to add into your basket to qualify for that free P&P, let's have a little look at a few samples and introduce you to the actual dies themselves. So as I mentioned, our Jillian die features 4 actual individual dies, giving you so many options in how you can lay out and position them. So let's bring these in. Our first die is our outside edge. Now, this is great because not only does it mean that we can cut apertures into our card with this lovely sort of pointy pattern, it also means that we can cut backing plates to go behind our filigree panel. Our filigree panel is actually one that does not have an outside edge or an inside edge attached to it. Now, this is great because it means that we can take that, we can cut that multiple times or singly if we wish to, into our card, and that's going to stay there. This pattern will cut into it, and that pattern will be the only apertures formed. So the middle will stay solid and it will be solid around the outside. If you wish to cut it free from the card as such, then bring in that outside die and cut those 2 pieces together, and you're going to have that come out as a freestanding panel. Of course, this will currently leave you with a solid centre, so you might wish to add your sentiment onto here or build up on top of it. Now, of course, Sue has thought of this. She has given you a separate circle die, so maybe you wish to add that as a layer on top of this one and have that as a sort of focal point, cut something out and lay that on there. Or of course, you can bring this into your cut cut that out and actually have that as an opening on the inside there as well. Now, something I quite like is using these two together, taking away that outside edge and maybe cutting this into one of your fancy dies that you've already got. So like a decal square or a circle or something else that's slightly larger maybe, and having that as a filigree panel with an opening in the centre. It's also quite nice to poke your sort of sentiments or panels or flowers or whatever you wish to coming from inside that opening. It looks quite lovely to do that as well. Creates more depth and layers. Then on top of that, you have got the fourth die. Now this is such a little cute die. It's this really sort of regal pattern. Now that of course fits on the inside here of this little circle. So if you wish to cut that out and just have that as an embellishment that you're going to be placing in your corners, in different decorative places, that would be really, really lovely. It's quite a nice like sort of stud design maybe. So possibly in the corners to hold down photos, to hold down those banners with your sentiments. I don't know, I just feel that this is one I'm going to use on its own quite a lot because it's really pretty and delicate. But of course, we can use it with the rest of Jillian as well. So maybe you don't wish to use that outside edge and you wish to pop that into the centre, cut that through instead. You're then going to end up with a more lacy panel. So you're going to have this outside sort of spirograph style pattern and that attached to the inside of it as well. Of course, with the different dies, you might wish to cut that part out of the middle and then raise these ones up and have that lowered underneath it, or of course brought together and stacked on top of it. And it just gives you so many different ways in which you can layer them. So let's have a little look at a few samples, shall we? One thing looking at the dies, isn't it? But it's actually a whole nother world when we see how they work and how they cut out. Now, with all of the items we're going to be looking at on these cards, so if you like the colours of the cardstock, for instance, or you like the little banner, the little stamp, anything you see, or everything you see, I should say, will all be on our dedicated page. Now, if you head on to the website, www.craftmaniacrafts.com, you've got a couple of different options. Along the menu bar, you will see Die of the Week and you will see YouTube. Now, either of those, you can click them and they will take you through to a page which is dedicated to this week's Die of the Week. You will see our lovely Jillian in a purple little picture. If you give that a click, it will take you through and everything that we're talking about will be on that one page. Whether you wish to find Jillian or, as I mentioned, any of the items that you see on the cards, it's all on there. Everything is there for you. So if you have a little sort of fancy for one of the items we're looking at, I don't want you to have to search for all 10,000 items on the website. They'll all be on that page for you to have a little look at and a little peruse of. So on this one then, let's go back to actually looking at this one. So this is working with some of my cardstock. We've got the Sunbeam Yellow, we've got the Pebble Grey, and we've got the Polar White. For our dies, you can see I've used our Jillian, and I've cut this one using the spirograph, and then the outside edges, leaving the middle solid to then build up on top of. I've brought in some elegant butterflies, the Forget-Me-Not flower dies, and I've shaped this. You may have seen the video. I did a little video recently showing you how to shape and give that sort of crinkled effect. If you haven't seen that video, do check out our channel to see that one. And then of course, we've got the gracious leaves in there as well. Very simple, very easy, very elegant to do. Then we move on to our next card. Now this one is playing with our lovely stripe line die, which I released recently. And I actually did a little video showing you how to create this background. And on the video, I actually made this exact background. And I had it to one side and I thought it worked so nicely to be brought in with our Jillian die and to be the background to this creation. So of course, we've got our stripe die, we've got our Pebble Grey cardstock, Seashell Blue and Night Sky Navy. Then on top of that, we've brought in Jillian. We've added on an elegant butterfly just to the edge here, cut from the Night Sky Navy. We've added in our little festive wishes tab and added on the Just For You on top of that. Again, all of these items on that one page for you to have a little look at. Now, if you haven't seen the video yet, these are actually stuck on with a self-adhesive sheet, and then I've put talcum powder over the top of it. You must go watch that video if you haven't seen it, because it's a game changer for sticking down delicate dies. It really is a lovely little tip that might help save you a bit of time and give you really good adhesion when you come to doing your die cuts, especially more delicate pieces, or just speedy cutting and sticking for different patterns and bits. Now, of course, for Jillian this time, we have cut in the inner part, the outer part, and the outside edges into the white piece, and then we've layered that onto one of our Night Sky Navy, which of course has just been cut using just that outside edge, which is why I love having these outside edges. Then we move on to our next one. So this time we're going for a little build-up butterfly. You can see I was really in a butterfly mood when I was doing these ones. Lots and lots of butterflies are featured. This time we've got Jillian, and then we've layered her using the little circle sentiment, or circle, sorry, from in the middle, just in Polar White. And then I've added on the butterfly on top of that. Colour wise, what have we been using here? We've used our lovely Elite card in the pink, we've used the pebble grey once again, and we've got the polar white. Added on here, we've got the best friend sentiment, and again, this is I think it's festive wishes is the sentiment that comes with this panel, so it's known as the festive wishes panel, but we've added in that panel as well. And this one, of course, is done on one of our pebble grey card blanks, which is something I really love working with, because it means that we've got that lovely pebble grey coming through, not only in the mats and the layers and the die cuts, but also actually as your card blank as well. And if you haven't seen these already, these are something I really love to work with, because they're light enough that you can still write on the inside, you can still stamp on the inside, but they just give that point of difference to our white card blanks or our ivory card blanks. But yet they're not as dark and heavy as maybe the blacks or as bright as the pastels, and having that separate Elite cardstock to coordinate is a game changer, because you know then that you don't have to go cutting up your card blanks to get the matching colour, which I've done so many times. So it's really lovely to have that separate piece as well. Then moving on to card 4. So this one's quite a different one. So we're working this time with Night Sky Navy and our Decadent Ivory. We've once again brought in our little butterfly as an embellishment to go on the top here. And we've got another one of our Forget-Me-Not flowers and our Gracious leaves used around the side. Excuse me. In the background here, we have got our banners. Now, these are one of Sue Wilson's. I think they're called flags. Again, they're on that page for you to have a little look at, but it is actually like a pendant flag. And I've taken 2 of them and I've put them facing to each other, crossing over, and then I've covered up that middle part with this banner that runs through the centre, and of course added Jillian over the top. But it was just a really nice way to get this sort of circular detailed die edge. Something I really feel I'm missing and would like more of actually is some sort of decorative panels like this that you can build up on top of. So something to play around with and build with those lovely decorative flags. Then moving on, so this time we are going for black, gold and white. We've added in that butterfly again into the middle. We have cut our Jillian die this time from Gold Mirror card. We have backed her, of course, with this lovely outside edge in the Raven Black card. And then we've got one of my corner dies. This is the outside, so this is the scalloped fluted edge from the outside that I've actually put onto a scoreboard, and I've scored it every ½ inch to just give that a little bit of a pattern. And I've added a get well soon onto the base of that one just to finish that off. Then onto our penultimate card. So this one was a fun one to do. I love this colour scheme. It's one I keep going back to. It's our romantic red cardstock, our decadent ivory, and then our craft paper. I don't know if you've seen the craft paper yet, but this is something I would really recommend you check out. It is a pack of 50 sheets, and instead of being craft card, it is craft paper. So it's a lower GSM, and not only is it great for die cutting and layering, it's also great for forming into flowers. And craft papers and cards always take ink really beautifully as well, give that sort of vintage effect that I really love. So I've cut it this time and layered it underneath the sort of spirograph panel from the Jillian set. I've also put it underneath our regal corners as well. So this is quite nice because it shows how well the regal corners match in with the Jillian die. We've also added in the special day and of course the butterfly to finish this one off as well. Then moving on to our last card, so we're back to our lovely pretty pink shading of Elite card. This time again, I've cut this out from one of our filigree panels, or scalloped edge panels, I should say, from the corner set. And this is what I mean about it staying in our card. So again, this time I have used the spirograph panel and I've used the inner circle, so it cuts that aperture. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you could easily have something coming from in there if you wanted to, but actually I decided to just use this as a bit of decoration and add on to it the butterflies and the flowers around it. So a little butterfly on one side, Forget-Me-Not flowers, gracious leaves, and the happy birthday sentiment to finish off. So again, really simple, easy to do cards that just give you a few ideas on what you could be creating with our lovely Jillian die. Now, as I say, this one has been proving very, very popular indeed. So if you would like to get your hands on it, don't dilly-dally. We've got them in stock currently. Go check out as soon as you can. www.craftmaniacrafts.com, only $4.99, should be $10.99 is its recommended retail price. Free P&P if you spend over £5 and you're in the UK, and international shipping capped at £10. Now, of course, not only can you order this online at www.craftmaniacrafts.com, you can also order it by phone as well, and that's 01493 843 666. And of course, you can come in store and get it from Craftmania Essentials at 6 Regent Street, Great Yarmouth. So just again, a few ideas for you. Hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you haven't already, please make sure that you've subscribed to the channel. As you see, we're updating it with lots and lots of content at the moment. And of course, our incredible die of the week, little sneaky peeks as well. Thank you very much for watching today. See you all again soon. Bye for now.